Hello everyone, welcome to this video where I talk about the properties of salts, which are deliquescence, effluence, and the hydroscopy. So let's start with the deliquescence. When you talk about deliquescence, we mean this is the tendency of salts absorbing mixed moisture from the atmosphere by a solid to form a solution. So basically, you can say that the deliquescence is the absorbing of moisture from the atmosphere by a solid to form a solution. So, for example, if calcium calcium chloride is exposed to air, it absorbs water vapor from the atmosphere and eventually dissolves. So its tendency to absorb water vapor explains why it is used as a drying agent for gases, exceptional ammonia where because it combines with the gas. So also the other example is the sodium hydroxide, whereby on exposure to air on exposure to air, the pellets of sodium hydroxide quickly become shiny and then sticky as they absorb water vapor from the atmosphere. Eventually, the sodium hydroxide pellets absorb moisture from the atmosphere so much that they dissolve to form a solution of this sodium hydroxide. The other examples are copper 2 nitrate and zinc chlorides. So basically, all these are the deliquescent salts. Let's see the hydroscopy. You can simply define the hydroscopy as the tendency of a substance or a salt to absorb water vapor from the atmosphere without it changing its physical states. Now, the word hydroscopy is a general term applied to all substances that absorb water vapor from the air. Examples of this hydroscopy are copper 2 oxide and the calcium oxide. Moving on, let's see the effluence. When we're talking about effluence, we mean the tendency of the hydrated substance to lose the water of crystallization to the atmosphere. So some salty crystals give out some or all of their water for crystallization to the atmosphere when exposed to air. Such substances are what we call the effluent, efflorescent, and the process of water loss is what we call the effluence. So sodium carbonate that has the 10 water crystals, also known as the washing soda, is a good example of efflorescent substance. So if washing soda crystals are exposed to open air at the room temperature, they lose some of the water of crystallization. The solid loses 9 of its 10 molecules of water of crystallization to the air, while one molecule of water which remains fixed can be removed only by strong heating, as you can see in the equation. Let's see the uses of different types of salts in our daily lives. So here we are going to talk about the various salts that we have and their uses or their application in our daily life. Let's start with the sodium chloride, also known as common salt. It can be used for cooking as it gives a flavor to a food, so it is used in cooking. The other one, it is in the manufacture of margarine, butter, and cheese can also be used also. Also, it can also be used as a fertilizer, and the last one as the reactor for the important chemicals. For example, electrolysis of brine, whereby the concentrated solution of sodium chloride gives the sodium hydroxide, chlorine, and the hydrogen. Moving on, the second salt and its uses are the calcium carbonate as the marble, limestone, or chalk. It can be used in the building industry, widely used in this making cement. Also, is used as a liming material to neutralize soil acidity. The third one is that it is also used in making paint, decoratives, plastic, rubber, and glass. And also it is used as a dietary calcium supplement because calcium is needed for health, for strong bones and the teeth. Moving on, the ammonium salts. Ammonium salts, basically, most of them are used as in nitrogenous fertilizers, which are applied to the soil to improve the fertility and hence plant growth and production. While these calcium sulfate is used for the manufacture of plaster of Paris (POP) that is used for the maintaining joints in a fixed position. Also, this calcium sulfate is used as a pigment in a white paints, as a soil conditioner in a Portland cement, as a sizer filler and a coating agent in papers. Also, in the manufacture of sulfuric acid and the sulfur, and the metallurgy of zinc ores and as a drying agent in many laboratory and the commercial processes. So basically, calcium sulfate has many uses. The fifth one is the sodium carbonate, known as the washing soda. It is used as the one of the raw materials for making glass. How it's used? Glass is made by heating a mix of limestone, salt, sand, sodium carbonate, and the recycled glass in a furnace. So as you can see there, sodium carbonate is used. Also, the second one is that the cosmetic industry uses this sodium carbonate for the manufacturing of soap. And the third one is used in medicine as an antacid. And the last one is used in sewage treatment as in water softening, as these washing soda crystals. Moving on, the sixth one is the magnesium sulfate, also known as the Epsom salt. Basically, it is used for making health salts, the laxatives. The health salt that is used as a medicine, it aids to empty the bowels flowing, constipation, or other health problems. The seventh one is copper sulfate. It's used in fungicides, which are sprayed on crops, especially vines and the potatoes, to kill molds which would injure plant and then say curtail crop yield. So it's basically used in agriculture. So it is used in the manufacture of certain green pigments which are used for the painting. The eighth one is the calcium phosphate. This is largely used in making phosphoric acid and fertilizers, and it is also used in baking and also in cheese production. So basically, these are just of the few of the uses of various salts in our daily life. I hope it's clear, guys.